I just love how no other teams right now are first picking Cassante. But Shanji and Wayward, they're most played. They pick it up straight away. Other side, OMG set up for jungle with Arky getting Vi. Kaiser also here for Abel. Also a nice takeaway from JackeyLove where his 2018 skin lies. So, with this quick draft already enhancing our vision, let's see what TES do here. Because, I'm wondering, is it a rel angle? Is it a hard 2v2 angle? Or do you pull up jungle here for Tian?
Oh no. I feel... Honestly, this feels like a good rubber band for us. We got some cool jungle picks in that last game. We got Ivern. We now must return back to tradition. It's Vi versus Wukong. So, gonna be having a lot of fun. Backline threat, always got to be something we look at.
God, I mean, again, yeah, just as much as we run away from it, it still stays the same.
Oh God, oh God.
Well. All right, well, I guess we just continue down the path. It's funny. Ari was banned against him, of course, so naturally this is his direction, while on the other side, setting up a strong mid-jungle 2v2 seems to be what OMG are going to aim for before we get into the second pan phase.
Feels like we went into the Wayback Machine here, where TES are playing a 13-11 draft, and we've got OMG here on the new patch. They're having a lot of fun. Thought we were going to see something from Creme, still up and available in terms of the hovers, but not a lot of supports picked. Now he's here for the side of OMG. They should be looking at 80 carries at JackeyLove, specifically the Draven here. I think going against Kai'Sa would definitely be an answer for them. Opposite side, however, TES, they can start to focus away on some of those mid laners, be looking out for what Creme can pull.
I just wonder if Top Esports going to ban the rel here, though. That's something that needs to be said. The rel Kai'Sa lane, one of the strongest in the game right now, one of the most painful 2v2 lanes that expand into the mid game and skirmish like nobody else. Top Esports, Syndra taken away from Creme, even though he hasn't played a single game of it this far. OMG flexing it before, though, do take away one ban. It feels like off the table. As Draven, you pulled it out against JackeyLove, it feels like a must with what's left.
I don't know if they were necessarily laughing about it, but I would love the fact that because Creme hovered Syndra, they banned it. Just a small mind game. If that's the case, it'd be awesome. Like you're saying, we haven't seen Creme on it this split, so surprising enough to see it taken away. We get the rel and Kai'Sa that we've been hyping up, and now OMG, they have a ton of dive. They can go for it in the top side, and they can do it in the bottom lane as well. What do OMG try to pick up in the mid lane? While TES still looking for something. If this is going to be that Varus, expect for Heimerdinger to be the next one. And that is very dangerous for OMG to play in the bot lane.
Well, let's have a look. Has Mark picked it up? Yes, of course. The man has played literally everything. Alistar, another option. It's also been played recently. Into the rel. A lot of pro players seeing it as an answer. Nautilus also just a face-off as well. But Top Esports, Hulk, I think what is reality here is they might need another piece of engage. Or at least something that builds space for JackeyLove here in this game. And the Nautilus is going to be it.
Ooh. Okay, so wanting some counter engage, wanting something like you were talking about to be able to actually interact with OMG. TES finishing off their comp. They literally picked from top to support here. They left blue 5 up for Mark. They grabbed this champion. And now OMG, I was wondering what the counter was going to be. What this last pick for Creme. Picking up the Silas, a lot of good ultimates available to him. Almost every single one of these champions has something that he wants to be able to take. And now for OMG, they have a very short range composition, but they need to be aggressive in the early game. They need to be looking for dives, put TES on the back foot. Otherwise, we get into late game territory around that 30 to 35 minute mark. And TES, they can very easily set up in a team fight. Look for those Wukongs, get the Annie set up.
Well, again, a lot of emphasis on JackeyLove them for the damage source, but I will say for OMG, a very them-style composition. Skirmish heavy, dive heavy, all in heavy. A Shanji on the Renekton, giving him a strong lane. Well, that's always a plus when we talk about his stats, but Creme on something melee that at level 6 just pops the hell off, like Izakali would. That's also another big part of OMG, and I feel like when we're going into a matchup here that could have almost been match of the week, we look at Top Esports and OMG with bated breath going into Game 1. Explosive drafts, but we kind of expected that at least from these two teams. We're expecting a barn burner as well as they fight for a top 4 position. Easy strength of schedule towards the end of this split. This is one of their hardest matchups left remaining. And a win here in a series column for either of these teams would spell disaster for the other. Would give them that extra round of bye. Put them right next to the top 2. That is double elimination territory. and make their worlds run even easier if they could possibly do it. TES versus OMG. Our battle for top 4. Feels like this one is easy to say as we get into Summoner's Rift.
Wow. They're getting hyped for it. They're just, this was supposed to be our match of the week. We were talking about it. We changed it. We wanted to see. We had the TES BLG. We had to get on that. But now here for TES and OMG, they're getting very close. We've already talked about it enough. Top 4. This is what we're looking for. These are the teams that should be looking to make a pretty big splash into playoffs, and at the very least, teams that we are very likely to see in the regional finals contesting for those last couple slots for Worlds. And it all starts here. This is the match that makes or breaks that schedule if they can actually make it. Otherwise, they are contesting for 5th and 6th. That's a fine place to be, but it is just one more best of 5 potentially in your way.
As Shanji comes in for this cheeky invade just to annoy Tian and Wayward. I will say for OMG in a much better spot than top esports regardless. 30 championship points from last split. They're sitting in the top 4 right now. So regardless, you're saying that, you know, OMG will be in that regional. It's looking pretty likely unless something crazy happens in the split. Teams like BLG, JG, of course, going to be there if something goes badly or, you know, something goes wrong anyway. But ultimately, these are 2 teams that right now people might be talking about at Worlds. 2 teams that, again, sitting top in the LPL. We have to take state of the game, though. For game number 1, Jungle starting on opposite sides of the Rift. Tian pathing down to this bottom side. And it makes sense considering that Able and Ppgod are on one of the most aggressive 2v2s at the moment. One of the most aggressive all-ins. That only earlier in the series that Light and Crisp were dominating on the picks.
Glad to see Tian is actually moving towards this bottom side. As we look at top lane, Renekton early on, talk about it every time he's on here, the ability to gain mid or top priority very easily is a very skirmish heavy champion. And with the assist of Vi, I think they can go for very early dives, especially before Wayward has level 6. Could be something that they're looking for. Just requires Shanji to get a lot of early damage, which isn't necessarily going to be the case. When this wave is stuck like this in front of the turret, it's very difficult for Renekton to getting meaningful damage. And I think the bigger part is we will see some of how our mid laners are interacting. In a range versus melee matchup, it is up to Rookie to be able to dictate how this laning phase is going to go for him. And it does mean he will be open and susceptible to some jungle interference on either side.
I mean, it's Vi early, isn't it? Quite easy to see how it would interact with mid as Mark gets a little dredge line, but Able and Ppgod are just able to walk away. But speaking of what Tian can do, early part in this game, going to rely on this ward in the bot side spotting him out, meaning he can't do too much to answer the question. And Aki's also walking down. It would be very like OMG and TS to pull off a skirmish here and try and pull off a play.
You saw that Creme was trying to move over, but instead prioritize getting damage onto Rookie. Might see a re-engage here.
I mean, Tian's in a bad spot. They just launch at him. OMG picking up an easy first blood. Well played.
That should have been a numbers disadvantage there for TES. They know JackeyLove, he's trying to pick up this last wave. He was trying to push it in to at least punish OMG's bot lane for moving. But because of that, OMG immediately pull the trigger. They find the first blood onto Tian. And now it'll be double scuttle here for the side of Vi. So getting much closer to that level 6. We saw both of these junglers actually go for a full clear.
Under turret, Mark not getting the dredge line, but JackeyLove with the kill hits the turret. Oh my god! It's because Mark died, but he will survive. The kill still goes down. That's worth teleports being burned by Creme to get the wave, because look how much Able misses out.
That is such a huge amount of gold and experience that was missing. So OMG, they have to pull the trigger on this teleport to be able to at least say someone is getting ahead of that play. Going 1-for-1 is definitely still worth it there. We'll see if they'll be able to make any use out of grabbing this teleport. It will mean there will be a small lane swap, and in terms of the actual priority for the lanes, it does mess with OMG's timers just a little bit. We get a replay of this. Yeah, JackeyLove is literally trying to clear out this wave and let it crash on the next one. It doesn't fully crash, so that's what set up for the dive onto Able. This play right here, I mean, Yeah, Tian, you just don't have your W. Flash is going to be a complete death sentence at that point, so good find for their OMG.
Nice layering of CC as well. On top of that, we did see the play bot. Not going to get a replay of JackeyLove finding the kill. Almost dying, but holding onto his summoners. Quite important to mention because even though CS was caught up a little bit by Abel, that wave is pushing in. JackeyLove has a lot of minions to catch. And he picked up the kill, which means Noon Quiver, which means he does have a bit of an individual lead over Abel. So despite OMG having the gold lead, Tippers unfortunately misses there, or at least hits Rookie, but not enough damage to talk about. We still have OMG with the gold lead, 10,000 to 9. Oh. A 1k gold lead off that first play.
It'll be a dragon for them, for OMG. Starts them off. And we even get a look at our second Drake, Cloud Drake. So I have to imagine the next one has a pretty good chance of having some impact in this game, whether it be a Hextech, a Mountain. I'm going to be really, really sad if it's actually a Chemtech Drake, but we move on. For OMG, though, feeling very good about this. Rifttail is spawning in a minute and a half, so need to be looking for what that play is going to be looking like. You already see Abel indexing towards that static Shiv, and it should allow him to be able to move a little bit more comfortably up against JackeyLove.
And again, be able to clear those waves, and then, as you said, move with the skirmish-heavy comp that we know OMG want to play towards. Tempo already built up in this game with the kill on AD, kill on mid. But remember that as the wave is pushing in, it is JackeyLove and Mark who are holding this 2v2 by the neck a little bit now. And it is nice to see. Again, we talked about the consistency in top esports this split. It's weird to put JackeyLove in that same sentence. But this split, it really has been JackeyLove holding the fort for TES and probably being one of the best players.
He has a 35% damage share. He is the top AD carry in that metric, and it is incredible to see an AD carry. For as long as this meta has been going on and how bot-centric it is always really nice to see when your marksman is pulling weight like that, but it does come off of the back of, we've known JackeyLove to be an incredible marksman player. There's just times where, unfortunately, he does overexert himself. He does try to overplay his hand. And I kind of had it in my notes that Kaisa does feel like a little bit of a bait, because if we give Kaisa over to JackeyLove, he will make that play. He will make a game-winning and a game-losing play off of a killer instinct because he sees the angle. And that champion might be the way that some teams try to abuse, you know, some of the popular tendencies of this player.
I mean, only recently when we saw JackeyLove in finals, I think, not last split, of course, but I'm trying to think, where were we? It definitely wasn't last split. It was the split before with the TES and JDG Rain and JackeyLove on Zeri, game number 5.
Oh God, no! Don't remind me of that.
But that's the thing. You're right. That's JackeyLove to a T. You know, can win or lose the game, and I think this split, he has more of a likelihood to win the game with his current form. As his lane is going pretty well to start things off. It's got him ducked onto Tian, but it's only the clone. While he covers for that bot side push, look at where the bot of OMG are. They moved up for the Herald, but they completely abandoned bot, and this is just going to be a massive lead for TES's duo.
Yeah, Creme did not move fast enough. Now, Tian actually might be a little bit caught.
Yeah, Tian is not doing too well this game. Mark has to flash over. Abel just got a free kill. I mean, Tian needs to wake up and smell something apart from the roses.
Oh God, oh God. Well, TES now find themselves in a pretty big disadvantage. Despite not getting the Rift Herald there, that kill feels like it equalizes a lot. There are so many plates that they were trying to take away from the bottom lane. Creme did not move over in time, and so that was a lot of gold now going over to JackeyLove and crew. They need to really index now onto this bottom side. Can JackeyLove have an influence this game as this fares? Going for the static shift, so we're seeing more and more of that AP, getting the Halo Blades to be as aggressive as possible, get as many Halo Blades procs with the Blight, pop someone out of the fight. And if they keep finding picks like that onto Creme, I think that that's, you know, something that they could look for. But Tian, you gotta slow it down. You have to kind of get under control of this pace of the game. And I wonder what happened here exactly. Okay, so Tian's over the wall. He lands W. I mean, yet Tian just stays for way too long.
And he knew there was a ward there. Tian saw it. He saw Creme put it. And yeah, that's just tragic to watch. Look, people might be laughing at Tian, but he has the most MVPs on top esports this split for a reason. Like, Tian has had a much better split, in my opinion, in comparison to some of his dastardly ones. But yeah, just having one of those classic games where sometimes he just can't be trusted. There's Dragons now up in 5 seconds. Let's finally see TES bring it all together as they're waiting in brush for a bit of a pick-off, trying to get this fight started the right way.
Someone knows. God knows that'll be a burst.
Everything in. Magnet Storm, though, they haven't killed him. Tian getting the Cyclone on the way out as JackeyLove has to burn double summoners with the TP in as well. Creme now has the arrows to land him down, but JackeyLove at the backside getting free damage. No one's touching him.
JackeyLove.
He stands up to Abel as Creme teleported in, had such a good ulti himself, but JackeyLove pokes down, gets the kill. I told you, man, this split, he's on a train.
Let's go, JackeyLove, untouched in that last fight. And I thought maybe Abel was going to be able to make a difference. That is not the case. OMG, they lose out big time for that. Equalize the gold lead, get TES the second Drake of the game. And now they are staring down the barrel. I mean, that was supposed to be OMG's Dragon, but a really good find coming out from Top Esports. As they wait in the brush, they find out Ppgod to start. Huge bounty here for JackeyLove, and the entire time, Shanji is farming away. We thought this was maybe going to be a battle of our top laners, but it is Abel and JackeyLove through and through.
I mean, they're the ones with the bounty on each side of the team. I'm sure we'll get a replay shortly, but for now, we're just watching OMG commit to this bot side play with Herald getting dropped down. Good damage onto Abel, actually. But the Herald should be getting a charge here. However, oh, we're close. Still charges. Gold still goes to Aki, but at least minimized here as TES look to defend this gold lead that they're missing out on.
Because of that play, because of them being able to actually grab that, one thing that did go in advantage of OMG is their solo laners picking up a lot of gold and trying to equalize some of this. We're going to see how this exactly happened. Also grabbing the teleport out from Rookie definitely slowed how this fight is. You just look at where JackeyLove is hitting and where Abel is, getting CC'd, really only hitting frontline. It was a good start from them. Now we need to see what can OMG do, what can their solo laners get accomplished. Fantastic cinematic camera.
Oh, perfect. I mean, range just there. Creme unlucky with the cooldowns, but JackeyLove now 3-0-1. After that last fight, after Rookie almost sacrificed himself, Tian the same. They've set up their 80 carry. But note that OMG are still the ones with the gold lead. They've still picked up a dragon in this game. It's not like this team is really suffering that much at the moment. And when we talk about the nature of this comp here, is Shanji going to ult on the top side. Flash now burnt by Wayward. I was going to say, with the comp, I mean, we still have items on the most important people in this game. And we still have a Renekton who's coming through this laning phase with a big win as well.
And you see them actually translate that into a win minute before that Rift Herald. We'll see what they can get. Remember, no teleport, or no, sorry, no flash now on Wayward will mean that has to play a little bit more passive, won't be able to be as active or far up in the lane. You already see that they're making this move. Creme using this time while the wave comes back into mid, put down vision, start to take away some from TES. And Aki is now going to push out some of these minions or finish out his camps on this side. I was wondering if Ppgod was going to stay this far up and instead of getting that back, he's going to move over into this Baron hit. Rift Herald, though, so important. If OMG can grab this, they can look to break open mid and get TES in a very uncomfortable spot.
Open mid up when you have a Silas, Kai'Sa, when you have so much launching capabilities. Some of that pick potential, excuse me, is kind of scary for people like JackeyLove as well. So we'll see how OMG are able to push the tempo just a little bit further. As for now, it is Top Esports who get to River first here. Set up a bit of vision control themselves. OMG have to be second fiddle. Let's just see what Tian does, because he has flash, he has ulti available. And they do have the setup potential with Rookie having ult. And almost that flash himself, that 20 seconds ago.
The longer this takes, I was going to say, if they didn't blow the teleport immediately, that could have been Wayward going for the turret. But he says this Rift Herald is more important. OMG, they're probably going to get this, but they're going to need to make a turn. TS, how are we forcing this fight? How are we getting in? Well, we are doing nothing. We are going straight back to mid lane.
Just wait, because this angle, dredge line being baited around. Creme with the ulti stolen as OMG spread out a little bit, but you're right. In the end, it is nothing indeed, as Static Shift clues any hope of a wave. And they committed teleport to that, so now Wayward looks like wants to stick around for this minute 15 till Dragon spawns.
I'm so sad that we got an absolute nothing burger there from them. There was no fight for it. They went back into mid, and it was a pretty weak defense, as they didn't get much chip damage onto this mid-tier 1. So instead what happens now, OMG, they'll be able to take top tier 1, move Creme after recalling and getting a couple more items under his belt. Dragon spawning in 45, they didn't use any of their tools there. This should be OMG's another objective for them. We need to see TS wake up, get a little bit more active.
I mean, look at Wayward. His positioning showing that there might be 4 gone for the Dragon. I will say he's backing now, so 30 seconds. But that's cancelled. Creme cancelling that when he has the TP advantage in the side lane. Wayward probably needs to back a little bit further back, but now it's 20 seconds. Now he is going to be a little bit late to this Dragon play.
If he doesn't, I mean, thankfully there's Hex Tech Souls, so he can take a little bit of a cheater. For everybody at home that maybe wants to play a little bit of Clash, or is wondering what's a good time for me to back, you want to make sure that you're back in base around 40 seconds. Then you can get back into the base, you can get back to the Dragon. You'll show up a little bit late, but this is all changed. All the timers change depending on what soul you get. If it's a Cloud Soul, Hex Tech is the most abusive, where you can just do stuff like this. Another face check.
Rookie! There's Tibbers coming out now with Tian's ult as well. Creme's caught in the middle as into the back line they've found. JackeyLove, they fly through and they nuke him out. OMG should be losing this fight. Rookie started off, he's still alive, and now the hope and dreams as Wayward goes all out. They went into a corridor, and Wayward was waiting.
As soon as Abel goes down, this fight is not playable anymore. Shanji, we saw him gather a small lead over Wayward, but not something that he could flex. They put so many eggs into the kill JackeyLove basket that as soon as that's done, they're just looking like, well, what do we do now? A gold lead. I mean, Bounty's now opening up. I want to see exactly what happened in this play because my eyes were on Abel this entire time. What happened to OMG? They just completely evaporated. So that's one. Okay, so again, right into the backline. Creme is in no man's land. All right, Rookie's untouched. Respect.
And Wayward's ult separates. You saw the separation of Shanji and then Wayward in this team fight. I mean, Cassante, need I say more, but the ability to separate that big croc from AoE heaven, that was huge. I mean, again, Rookie playing that so well on his Annie as well. And Top Esports winning a fight, despite what we thought was just OMG paradise by the end, especially when JackeyLove got dove pretty hard. You just look at the other core carry, the other member we've been relying on. TS's mid laner Rookie still got it here with 7 out of 9 kill participation, and the make do to set up here with the second Dragon of their game in the Hextech Dragon. As TS now try to defend mid.
Not going to be able to do so here. Finally taking that mid-tier 1 does make it a lot easier for OMG to walk in, grab vision around the entrance to both sides of this jungle. Will mean that Baron coming up in a minute is definitely a threat. You look at who's on this team right now, a Kai'Sa, a Renekton, a Vi. So easy for them to actually take this. You look on the opposite side, TES, they need to find picks first. Varus does a lot of damage. Annie, if she has Tibbers, can definitely put in work. But it is something where their ability to turn is so much more potent. 3 minutes before the Dragon. Don't think we're going to get too much action unless it's from one of these side lanes. And so now it's up to TES. How can they recover after all of these summoner spells are blown? And for OMG, losing such a big fight to bring the game back to parity.
I want to look at some of those summoners more in depth towards this Dragon as well. Rookie and Wayward will have the teleport up and available. Shanji might be unlikely here, but we'll keep track. I'm not sure at this point what our timer means at half. Probably okay for Shanji, actually, with Creme having his as well. So we will be fully back up. Even JackeyLove's flash could be a good news story. As stopwatch actually in the inventory of Rookie, of JackeyLove as well. So a lot of survivability. As I will say, Zonya's Hourglass for Creme, another big tool. But that's kind of where we're at, isn't it? We're at the second item point, especially for members of OMG who spike pretty hard at those points, while for the rest of Top Esports, we're just waiting a little bit longer for people like Rookie to catch up, even Tian here on this Wukong as well.
Aki will be so much more powerful, not only having the Black Cleaver, but then also having the Divine Sunder means that backline threat onto JackeyLove needs to be watched and taken care of. He'll have the stopwatch to be able to get away from Vi, but after that, during that time, if Vi isn't able to actually turn targets, I think this is going to be a tough fight. They need to find a way to get rid of these stopwatches before this fight. They have 1.5 minutes before those are going to be meaningful. Maybe Creme gets aggressive, but the longer this takes, TES are favored. They are definitely in a much more comfortable position as long as they have their stopwatches, all their flashes available to them. This should be a fight that is a win for TES and is a sole point for them.
And I will say as well, I mean, harder to optimize against MR for this comp that we're seeing in front of us from OMG. They've got Merc Treads, but we have full AP coming out. Remember, it's only the Wukong there with AD plus, I guess, base of Cassante for what it's worth. So OMG, as this game goes on, as you were mentioning, that burst, that incredible pick potential is only going to get worse. A minute till the Dragon. Small gold lead for OMG, but the gold lead hasn't really shown us anything so far in this game. And it's been close the whole game, Ulk. Like, it's been pretty much 1 or 2K at the maximum, as TS still, you can see, willing to fight despite being down.
I love how these two teams are playing right now, where they're playing with a lot of fervor. Obviously, they are not shy from going for fights. And we're just seeing these constant death brushes from TES. I know Tian is kind of a fan of some of our other regions, but they're just trying to full-on Fnatic death brush at this point. Like, sitting in fog, always trying to play very aggressive up against them. Tian, I love it, gets a small chunk onto OMG Ppgod. Now that they have first play into this river, big focus onto that single ward that was not cleared out. A TP flank from Shanji or Creme could be make or break for this game. That is so even. But OMG, because of the positioning of TES, they have full control of mid. They are jockeying between these two teams as to who can get to the mid lane first and see what happens.
That ward has expired though, so timing is not on OMG's side. It could be both Creme and Shanji here. As Creme steals away the chains of corruption, OMG still has a 5-stack, trying to threaten the Baron now as well. As the Baron is not the slowest in the world, is it? Creme and Shanji, the angle there. They're not going to burn anything to get into position as Dragon started. This will be sole point for TES.
Rookie.
They're trying to utilize Rookie on the side. Dredgeline pulled out. Creme chains corruption is there in return by JackeyLove. Tian taking up the damage as Wayward, taking up none. It's Creme stuck in the pit as another W not landing here from Abel means a longer cooldown for the poking out. OMG playing with time right now and getting a benefit of it as Dragon is reset.
They unfortunately were dealing with the 6th man here for OMG, which was going to be this Hextech Dragon. Tian trying to reset, trying to get a little bit of HP thanks to jungler privilege. Can he get back in? Wayward TP now.
I mean, trying to bait it. Rookie goes in for the engage anyway. Shanji getting close. Depth charge there. Tian is coming in for the long god as Ppgod is just caught out. Tibbers chasing down. Tian is here. And now that he makes his entrance, it looks doomed. Smacks him down as Abel drops as well. Dragon might go to OMG, but now Baron is a very real concern.
Good turn from them, and their ability to actually fight OMG on that Dragon was surprising. Great job coming out from multiple members of TES. Rookie in particular, always landing his stuns, always so good on this champion. And now Shanji on a flank. They're trying to pincer maneuver them.
Oh, Shanji's into the middle. OMG with the numbers disadvantage. They're taking the fight. Tian is down in LPL fashion as JackeyLove gets over the wall. He survives, but Baron over to OMG. Shanji trying. And even though Top Esports have 4 members alive, any LPL team will take that fight any day.
Aki, the ultimate burger flipper there. He grabs his team, the Baron. It's only on 2 members. Abel, unfortunately, just spawning right after they were able to steal that. As we take a look at this replay, I mean, from this position, it is so difficult for the side of OMG to actually be able to turn. Great interrupt coming out from Mark. Saves this entire fight. And now Shanji's out of this play. Abel, unfortunately, gets completely taken down by Tian. And now it leads to them grabbing this Baron. I was surprised, I think just as everybody else, the fact that they were going for it. But honestly, we have Tian in this game. We would expect nothing less than the fact that we're going for some 50-50s.
I think Mark or Wayward, one of them needs to zone. You know what? As starting as a coach, like this split in LCO, what I've noticed is how important Baron setup is. And top esports, you have a Nautilus, you have a Cassante. Why are you not zoning enemy jungle out? Why do you need the setup here? As Wayward's caught out, that flash that should have been burnt before is now burnt for no avail. Top esports with some pretty messy setup and messy side lanes nets another positive for OMG.
They will take full control of this bottom side. They'll be able to grab this next wave. It is pretty stacked and a little bit far back, but this is just for 2.5 minutes time when this dragon is spawning. Both of these teams now at 2 and 2 apiece. So Soul's not going to be, at the very least, for another 7 to 8 minutes. And that just means that this game is going to go a lot longer than our first two that we saw between the first 4 teams that we got today. Another turret here for OMG. They'll be able to recall, get more and more gold in their back pocket. And that just means item completions are coming on through. You look on the opposite side, however, Rookie and JackeyLove finishing the Zonias. So Aki doesn't have a ton of great, like, kind of ultimate targets, but now he's looking at Tian, at Wayward. What can he actually do in fights?
It's a big question, isn't it? I mean, without Flash available for this next Dragon, we will see a TES, this team, now sitting on 3 items for their 80 carry. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal with Rookie close to the Void Staff. So there's a lot of power coming through, but Abel has now hit 3. Void Staff for Creme as well. So much power there, as every time Abel hits a W, TS have to fear of getting poked out this quickly. As W again.
Oh no.
Rocking second skin. Abel is massive. Again.
With this Rage Blade as well, he is getting so much magic and armor penetration. The first thing I saw when all the mythics came out for the reworked marksman changes was, why does Rage Blade get 20 to 25% armor magic? This item is ridiculous.
Great question.
And now that you're going for the poke build, like, Abel can, from very long range, basically take away any interaction from the side of TES, and it'll be on Mark and Wayward to block all of those shots. You even see from Mark, while he is taking that is about 700 HP just taken away from him. TES has first say into this Dragon Pit. They will now take control of the river, get all of the vision in. But you look at their side lanes, not in a great position. They really need to be able to win this fight.
XXL cannot be given over to OMG. Likewise to top esports. Chase potential on both these teams is massive. Is that control ward through mid? Just giving a bit of information to OMG as they try and hide off. Top esports, it's 25 towards Dragon. As you said, control for the river is in their favor. But you know what else is? Rookie having Flash and Tibbers.
Yes.
All it takes is one stun, one setup, and OMG are blown up, but all it takes is one flank from OMG, and the game's over as Dredge Line from Mark. Not going to work out. Hex Flash uses Real Flash is now up and available again, but somebody stop Abel.
Oh no!
Oh dear Lord.
That'll force the teleport. Here we go. Okay, so Creme now again stealing this Varus ultimate. The Chains of Corruption so important. Will have to teleport. Wonder where he's gonna go. Actually, looking to try to clear out this top side. Okay, he says no. We have to fight for this objective immediately. Yep. Shanji as well, teleporting into this play. It'll be a bit of a split call. If Shanji is spotted out before, this will be a number advantage.
Oh, he gets it and he flushes out. Tian just getting soul point, but JackeyLove's now targeted up. OMG want to dive into the back line. Abel does so as Tian gets the ulti up. Ppgod tries, but a Magnet Storm only hits one, but it'll be enough. Abel flies and OMG survive the Dragon still, but you cannot run from this squad that has your number to the dial.
Man, such a heartbreaker there for TES. Shanji even gets the solo under the inhibitor. I don't know if this will be quite end of the game. They don't have a huge leading weight, but a lot of tanky champions. This might be it.
It is over. Look at the death timers on JackeyLove on Mark. 10 seconds for that support. It is enough. OMG. The fight for survival in this game was real. TS might have had some of the fights, but it's all about that last one. And beautiful synergy on the dive. Nets a game 1 win.
Incredible stuff from what we just got from OMG. Just completely obliterating any